pass it over to
Just
Stephanie
do
and
it.
Tarita. And thank you so much.
Stephanie Kenny. I am a local government rep here at Amazon Business. So I cover New Jersey, sort of small to mid-sized municipalities within Jersey, and a lot of libraries fall within my territory. So I think I have spoke with some of you, excited to get to know more of you as well. And I am really customer advisor for all, like, boroughs, towns, as well as libraries, housing authorities, really anything that falls under local government within New Jersey. So yeah, happy to be working with you all, and happy to meet some more of you. And I will hand it off to Tarita.
Thank you, Stephanie. So good afternoon to everyone. My name is Tarita Murray. I have some of you I've already met, which is exciting. I've worked with you either here with Amazon and spoken with you, or I've spoken with you when I worked for Baker and Taylor. I started out at Amazon in December of 2024, so I'm coming up on a year being part of the Amazon Business Books team. So my specialty and my niche is supporting public libraries, government nonprofit entities, and of course, now that Amazon has launched its new library solutions, that has been my primary area of focus and concentration as the Amazon Business Book Advisor. Prior to joining Amazon, worked for Baker and Taylor for well over a decade. So I know quite a few of the people that, of course, have been impacted by this news. Not only did it hit home for so many people that I know, but it also hit home for me because that is where I started my library journey, working with Baker and Taylor, working with Frank McDonald, working with Katie White, as well as John Dove, Jill Faraday, and so many others that were part of the B&T team. So I am excited to be here and to support Amazon Business as we launch into libraries. So before I get started, I would just like to ask, just by a show of emojis, there's the emojis on the screen there. If you, not hand raise, if you have been on either NJLA conference, webinar, I should say, not conference, but webinar that I partnered with Tessa Sullivan to host, or if you've been on any of our Amazon Business office hours, could you just show just either like a thumbs up, just to let me know that you've been on there? Or so I see a few coming in. So some people yes, some people no. So I will be repeating for those that maybe have heard or been on a presentation with me before. But before I do that, I would like to just share just a few things, a little background for everyone. We, Amazon Business Books team, have really done a lot of work to understand the library industry. This started well before B&T's announcement. In fact, when ALA was in San Diego, Amazon Business leadership team was learning about books, learning why it is that libraries have Amazon Business accounts, use Amazon Business for programming supplies, break room supplies, janitorial supplies, but don't use Amazon for books. So we knew that there was a gap, and we were curious enough to uncover part of the reasons, some of the barriers that were in place that prevented libraries from wanting to use Amazon Business for book procurement. We uncovered that, not having brief records was a hurdle for libraries purchasing on Amazon. We also heard that not having competitive price points was also a big hurdle. Prices fluctuating, changing from one month to the next. We also understood from libraries that as we've gone into this space, that having ILS integration so that you can do EDI ordering, use grid utilities, is an important piece. And we also know that having physical processing is an important piece. So what have we done since we made our announcement at ALA in Philadelphia? We've enhanced those brief records. Those brief records now include things like audience level. It includes the BISAC subject. It includes a summary. So we are moving forward with enhancing those brief records. We are also ready to begin testing with ILS integration because we know that doing acquisitions and having a workflow that allows you to send that order to us from your ILS system is an important piece. So we're in talks. It's not hearsay, it's not future roadmap. It's conversations that are happening. It's testing that's being done that we are looking to integrate. Now, we can't start with all ILS systems simultaneously. So we're working and talking with Polaris to get that integration happening. The other thing that I know is extremely important, but it's going to take us some time, is physical processing. So what are we looking to do in the interim? Since we don't have one single warehouse that ships books, we're not set up like an Ingram or Brodart or even a former Baker and Taylor where you have dedicated warehouses for book shipments. Amazon is built on having multiple shipping facilities, and we're not going to change that. Where we won't do anything that's going to hinder us getting your books and your shipments to you fast. And, within 24 hours, 48 hours, that's our commitment, and we're not going to stray away from that. So having the ability to physically set up processing entities in every fulfillment center is a huge undertaking. So what we're looking to do in the interim as we work through that is what do we do to ship the books out early? How do we get the books out of our warehouse and into the hands of libraries that need to do processing before that book hits street date? So that is what we're working on is with our legal team right now, looking over those terms of agreement so that we can then ship your books out to you sooner. So I've given you just kind of some foundational information. Happy to share my screen and show for those that maybe were not a part of a previous presentation what Amazon for Libraries looks like. What does it mean for you? It means number one, that you get access to Amazon Business Prime for free if you've not already taken advantage of it. We can certainly connect you with the right person so that you can begin to take advantage of it. Why is that important for libraries? Because being a part of Amazon Business Prime means that my shipments are coming to me without me paying shipping fees. That's a savings. The other thing that's also beneficial for having Amazon Business Prime, when I think about libraries, is being able to utilize Prime to do things like setting up your delivery window so that your books don't get delivered on Sunday evening because your library is closed. Being able to customize that is important, and it's something that Amazon Business affords you. The other thing that I think is really important and impactful for libraries today as you think about where do I go to get my books? Who do I use? Is it going to take time to set up that business agreement with Ingram, with Brodart? Yes, it is. But if you've already got an Amazon business account, the setup is done. It's already there. The other really great thing about it is that we started with 30 to 45% off list price on pre-orders and new releases. Traditionally, people use Amazon, and this is based on feedback from librarians. Yeah, go to Amazon if I can't find it. It's a hard to find title. I'll use Amazon. It's a title that is not sold by my current vendor. I'll use Amazon. So that's sporadic. That doesn't happen all the same simultaneously with every library. But what we do know that every library is doing is buying new orders. They're doing new titles. They're doing pre-orders. They're doing new releases. So that's where you're going to see 30 to 45% off list price, if not greater, on those types of titles. So I've talked a lot. I do want to make certain that this time is certainly used most effectively. I'm going to share my screen, and I just want to do a quick walkthrough for people that are not currently aware of what we're offering. This slide deck that I'm showing, I'm going to go live, so I will toggle between a slide deck and I'll toggle into live Amazon Business just so that you can see it, because I think it's important that you see and know exactly what's being offered. So your contacts, I passed that, but it's going to be Stephanie or myself. We are happy to help you. Stephanie oversees your entire Amazon business account. So if that means you need additional users, that means that you need to get set up for Amazon Business Prime, she's your go-to young person. She can assist you with that. you need help with just trying to figure out how to navigate to find the books that you want, you're looking to speak to someone that can help your selectors, tag IMED. So we work together in cohesiveness. We know that it's important that we are on the same page. So that's why we're both here on this call with you today. So what you're looking at on my screen is the Amazon Business for Libraries. There is a unique URL that we have set up. It's more of a ghost URL. So what that means when I say a ghost URL is that you've got to be an Amazon business customer. Um, Again, most of you are, and if you're not, it's really easy to set up Amazon Business. If you have an existing Amazon.com, it's easy to, transfer that account and switch between Amazon.com to Amazon Business. And you want to be on Amazon Business so that you can take advantage of the pricing because it is on Amazon Business. Okay. What you're looking at is a carousel that will show you eligible books for MARC download, and this is for physical books today. I know that there are some libraries that use Amazon Business for video games, for DVDs, for other AV material, or as I like to say, non-print. Um, we know that you buy a library of things. We don't yet have records for everything that you buy on Amazon. What we have records for are physical books that are purchased within the last 90 days of purchasing. If you are an administrator on your account, then you are able to do the MARC download for anyone that placed an order. If you are just a buyer on the account, you will only see a download available for items that you purchase that consists of a physical book. And again, that's within 90 days of that purchase that you're able to see that. What you're looking at Circle of Days is a screenshot of how to identify whether or not you're getting library pricing. Again, it's going to be on new release titles, pre-orders. So you see this title was due out September 23rd of this year. And in the buying box, which is on the right side of the screen, you see the word library price. This is available under hardcover, paperback formats. It is not applicable for DVDs. It is not applicable for video games. There is no library pricing for that format. The format that is applicable on is going to be the physical book. Okay, so the other really important piece that I always like to highlight is it should be shipped and sold by Amazon. And the reason I highlight that is because on Amazon Business, some accounts are set up, especially those city or county accounts, are set up for buy in local. That means that that local seller gets to the top of the results page before the Amazon as the seller. We're happy to support those third-party sellers that use our platform to reach a large audience. 60% of items sold on Amazon Business is sold by third-party vendors, and that's going to be the small business. That's going to be the local business. That's going to be the minority-owned business, and the list goes on. We continue to support that method and allowing that small business entity to use this platform to reach more audience. But when it comes to library pricing, for us to discount it, it's got to be shipped and sold by Amazon. So if you're not seeing that, you will have to toggle, and I'll show you when I go live in a few moments to get to that screen. This is another title that happened to be on sale when I did the screenshot, and that's why it showed business pricing 51% off. There are times that we're going to stack your discount. So maybe it's 45% because it's library price, but if there is some additional savings, you're going to get the best price point. So there are some times when you are going to see new release titles that say library price, and some will say business price. So remember, look at that percentage savings. 51% is far more greater and attractive than 45. So at the end of the day, you're always getting the best price point that we have available. This is just showing you the success banner at the top when you have successfully downloaded the MARC record. You will have to download it, format it, because it doesn't have every field, like the 900 tag is not there. If you use the 979 or the 949 to capture specific information or enrich data into that MARC profile, it's not going to be on the brief record. Okay, so just keep that in mind. These are brief, intended to be overlaid with a full record. We know that we are just dipping our toe into this space. And so our records are brief and we are doing enhancements as we speak. So this is the URL that I mentioned. As I said, a ghost URL. So that is where you would want to bookmark only if you want two things. Bookmark it if you want to do the mark download of the brief record, and bookmark it if you're looking to look to search out our selection list that we have in collaboration with Amazon editors. So that's really the only time you'll need to bookmark that. Other than that, you search as you search anything else on Amazon Business, and you can put in the URL, you can put in the author, other things that you want to search by, and you'll see it. It's library pricing available. So I'm stopping the sharing for a moment. I definitely am going to make certain that we have time for your questions. As you can see, I went through that fairly quickly. I'm just going to pop in live just so that you can see the Amazon business site and make certain that everyone knows how to get there and what to look for live when you're going in. So just bear with me one last screen share, and I am done with my little update. I want to just make sure that everybody that's on this call knows exactly what we're referencing when we talk about library solutions, knows where it is and how to get there. So you're looking at my Amazon business screen. I'm just going to type in as if I were going into the URL. You're going to use your exact same Amazon business login credentials. Nothing has changed there. You will check out the way you always check out. Nothing has changed there. If you are not currently on Amazon Business, you will need to be in order to see the library pricing. You're not required to do the mark download. You're not required to buy anything. I'm not on commission, so it doesn't affect me one way or the other. I just want to be able to say, here's what you can do as an Amazon Business customer, and it does not cost you anything to take advantage of this. So you're looking at my login screen. There are no, I think I'm sharing the right screen. I hope that I am. There are no order history information here because I haven't ordered anything over the last 90 days. When you scroll down that page, I talked a little bit about our list. So we have where you could browse by category or by bisect subject. This is our editor's pick. We collaborated with Amazon editors that are both here in New York and in Seattle to help curate lists for us. And this is on a monthly cadence that these lists are updated. I'm just going to pop into, just for this conversation, I'll just mystery, thriller, and suspense. So you can see Secrets of Secrets, Secrets or Secrets by Dan Brown. When I go into the title, you see, again, I'm on the hardcover. I see my library pricing 45% off. Maybe I want paperback. I can click on paperback, see my library pricing $24. I want to see other formats. You can click on see all formats. I hope everybody can see where I am. And when I do that, click all formats. Let me just bring this down for a second. I've got Kindle, Audible, hardcover, paperback, audio, CD. So all of the format that that title is available in will display across this banner when I click on See All Formats. If you are looking for other titles by this author, you can click on the hyperlink that says Dan Brown. And now I see other titles by Dan Brown. If I were a big fan of Dan Brown and maybe my patron base really enjoys this author and I want to know when this author is going to produce a new title, I can follow the author. That allows me to follow that author and get an email when that author is producing a new title. Not the Amazon, not Amazon's follow is not a replacement of Baker and Taylor's Automatically Yours. This is completely different. We don't have Automatically Yours or the ability to auto ship at this time. I think the most that will be entertaining would be perhaps a notification service, but I don't see that happening in 2025, just being upfront here. So again, that's just other titles by this author. This is really great if you were looking for children's series. I'm just typing in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And again, if you wanted to use the left margin, this is where you could narrow your search. If you were looking for this title, are books in different languages. You can see languages are listed in the left margin. You could also sort by age group. You have the ability to look at titles published within the last 30 days or 90 days, if that's applicable based on the list that you've pulled. So I'm just going to click on one of the titles here. Again, if I am interested in following the author, I can go to the author and I can see the different titles within the series, which makes it a little easier if you're trying to replace a worn out title that's part of the Diary of Wimpy Kid series or Captain Underpants or any of the other phonics box sets. And you want to be able to pull that information. It's readily accessible. So I'm just going to pause here. I want to certainly make the most of the time that we have together because I know that there are some questions that you guys have. Some I may have already answered and others maybe I did not. So I'm happy to certainly turn it over to Stephanie if you wanted to lead, or Liz if you wanted to maybe share some of the questions, or Matt,
Sure,
whoever wants
yeah,
to kind of take the lead. I'm
some
happy
people
to support.
some people sent in questions, so I'll like just go through the list. And I think some of them you did already answer. So just to clarify, so you do not offer any physical processing, like
That is
any book.
absolutely correct.
Okay,
No
got
physical
it.
book processing as of November 3rd, 2025.
Okay, and the discount is on new releases and bestsellers, 35 to 40% discount, right? That was another
Yes,
question.
yes.
Okay, and you do not, you are looking at information with your legal team. You currently do not send books prior to the publication date, right? Is
So
that?
let me answer it this way, Liz. We
Mhm.
do, there is no blanket statement that everybody's going to get it before. There are times, however, depending on where that warehouse is where the warehouse is located, that you may get it early. But I don't want to go on record and say that. I will say right now, we don't have a process in place to guarantee delivery before street date, but we
Got
are
it.
working to put an agreement together for our library customers.
Okay, so I'm just going to go right through the list then.
Okay, go
Here
for
we
it.
go. So someone asked, can you enlarge your packing slips?
I don't know. Charita wouldn't be in charge of the packing slips and whether or not we could make the font bigger. That certainly is well out of my scope. Happy
Okay,
to record that as a request, but I definitely could not give an answer to that based on my role at Amazon Business and what I currently know about that. I don't know that we will change the font size just for one group of buyers on Amazon Business.
got it. Can the cartons be divided into fiction and nonfiction titles? I don't know if they meant the boxes that the books come in or if they meant the carts. But it
Yeah,
says, can the cartons be divided into fiction and nonfiction titles?
okay, so I'm going to interpret that, Liz, as this is a question whether or not the shipping can be sorted by
Mhm.
fiction and nonfiction. And I'm going to say that is highly unlikely simply because we don't have dedicated warehouses for books to be distributed. We have several shipping facilities that are shipping out your orders. And for us to possibly renege on getting that book to you when you want it, when we've promised that 24 hours or within overnight, I don't see that happening where we're going to hold that order and separate it by fiction and nonfiction.
Is there a way to have multiple carts? Like, can you have multiple carts going, or is it just the one cart on your account?
It's the one cart, and that's why we encourage every user to have their own logins.
Um, so someone said, can you make the process more library friendly? I mean, I guess you sort of have answered that, right? I don't know if
Yeah,
there's anything you want to add to that.
and Liz, I would say too, we know that when you go to that landing page, it's pretty blah. There's no advertising really. There is not a Title Source 360 experience. We do need to make it more library centric. And I think that that's what we're working on by doing ILS integration, adding full text reviews. That makes it a little bit more library centric. We're not there today. I think when you think about priority for development, what's big? What's really going to be most impactful for everyone? Integration, processing, getting the book early, having more robust brief records. These are things that are more impactful for every library, and that would take priority on our developmental pipeline. Being able to add those other features, I think that will happen later. I don't see it in 2025. I know that there's some changes that we're making, but when you think about Amazon Business, this isn't just for libraries. This platform is used for every business, all types of businesses. So it's a much larger undertaking to have a separate experience, which is why, I mean, we got as far as a ghost URL to make that landing page a little, more library centric. I think we can certainly take that feedback.
Got it. Thank you.
Mhm.
So if books arrive damaged, what can be done?
You can return if you are here under, I'm on my Amazon business account, you can go to customer service. And under this customer service, you're going to see this first carousel that's going to pop up. But if you were not sure where to go, like, I don't know where to go, I'm not sure, but you see the returns are here. But you could go here to this box and just type in what you're looking for, and the results will display step by step what you need to do. But if you're managing returns, an item comes damaged, this is where you're going to go. Under your hello name for your login, you'll see at the very bottom customer service. And once you click that, delivery, order, return, that's where you click.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
Um,
Liz.
thanks. Would we need to worry about bid rules when it comes to Amazon?
Bid rules as
Yeah,
in solicitations, like if you were RFP that you were issuing for a vendor supplier, is that what the question is about?
I'm honestly not sure. I'm just reading from the list. The list. If anyone here submitted that question and wants to clarify, um, you know what? We'll wait and I'll monitor the chat and see if they want to clarify later, and then we'll move right along.
Okay, that's fine,
Um,
Liz.
okay. And I think you kind of answered this, but will Amazon provide curated lists of popular fiction, nonfiction titles by their street date to help with weekly purchasing?
So
So,
if you're under books, I'll show you how to quickly do that.
mhm.
So on your Amazon business default setting, you're going to show all departments. But if you go under the books department, and I'm just going to type in books, it's going to produce a book toolbar. So you'll notice it wasn't there before, but it has advanced search, there's new releases, bestsellers and more, children's books, textbooks, then the list goes on, right? So if I go under advanced search, you can go in and you could do publish date. You can say during, before, after, you type in the month, you type in the year, you hit search, and there goes results. You also have the ability to type in a keyword. Like I had someone ask me, how do I find mass market paperback books? Just type it in, mass market paperback books, and you can put in during, before, or after, and you can put in the month and the year, and you hit search. And now I've got last 30 days, last 90 days, coming soon, and I can filter that content. So it's not a new release calendar that I think a lot of us have grown to love throughout our career of collection management. However, it does give you the ability to advance search and filter for that particular month that you're interested in. What I would suggest is that, not suggest, but what I would say is that we have requested a new release calendar. When I say we, I've been your biggest advocate. Having worked with libraries for as long as I have, I've been asking, can we just get a new release calendar? So more to come. It's going to be in a future release. It's not going to be like B&T's, but we will have that feature added. So more to come on that. Sorry, I should have
So I
turned off my messages, getting all these
think
messages.
I think you answered this. You said there's no standing orders, right? Just notifications. But then are you also going to have like a duplication feature? So like on certain suppliers, it'll tell you, if you've ordered the book already and when you
Right.
ordered.
Yeah,
Is that something
like
you'll offer?
um, I think that that's more likely to happen when we have the ILS integration, that we'll maybe be able to do a product lookup that will take you into your ILS to see if that's ISBN exists already. Right now, you are only going to be able to go into the order history, but we do have a really cool feature that you guys may not even be aware is available to you. It's called Business Analytics. And so I could go right under my hello, my name, hello Tarita, it'll be hello your name or your library's name, however you have the account set up. You can click on Business Analytics. It's going to open up a new window. And you have the ability, there's so much that's available. I don't have anything on my dashboard right now, but if I go under reports, I could go to orders. You can see what's been shipped, what's been refunded, what's been returned, who ordered something in the past, if there are multiple users. But there's like so many different filters that you get to filter from. And I just kind of highlighted the drop down of some of the options here. So order info, if you wanted to do order info, you could see that. So there's so many reports you can filter by what you previously ordered, do a custom date range, pull that information together. And Stephanie, I don't know if you have any live examples in your demo account for your Amazon business under business analytics that if you wanted to jump in, I can certainly stop and let you do a screen share to kind of walk through that. But these are just some of the reports that you could pull on your own just by being on your Amazon business account. So keep that in mind. It's really a great way to kind of see what have I ordered without looking at every individual order. It's also really a good way to manage budget and spending over a time period. Right now, the dupe icons that you're maybe accustomed to seeing on Title Source 360 are not available on Amazon. And I don't know in our developmental roadmap if that's something that's slated for 2025 or if that's something that's even on the docket for 2026, but it is something that we can capture and make certain that it gets added because your feedback is what help us build out our developmental roadmap. So thanks for whoever asked about the icons and being able to easily identify a duplicate title in your order history with Amazon.
Is there a minimum order?
No.
Okay.
If you don't have Amazon Prime, Liz, if I could just add this
Yeah, I'm
little
sorry, go ahead.
caveat there. If you don't have Amazon Business Prime, then you have to have a $35 spend to qualify for free shipping. But there is no minimum order amount with Amazon Business.
Ask in the chat, I'll take this question. If is Business Prime free for libraries or did I misunderstand? So since we're on the topic of Business Prime, basically we have a partnership with NJLA where libraries receive 2 years of Business Prime for free if they're enhanced institutional members. So if you have that EIM membership with NJLA, we'll be sending our emails after this. Reach out to me and I can get you set up so that you have the free Prime. If you are not an EIM member and want to be, you can also reach out to me and I can get you in touch with Katie White, who heads up that program, and we can get you the free Prime that way as well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you take advantage of it? It's free for 2 years. I say go for it.
Okay, sorry, I'm just going through. Okay, I think I got through all the paper, or actually, no, there's one question here.
Okay.
So how transparent are you with the status of reorders and back orders?
So we don't have back orders on Amazon. When you want to reorder, if you're using reports, you can see everything that you've ordered. Let's say there's a staff member that's no longer with you. You could go under that report and look at orders and see the user and reorder everything that that person ordered in the past. So it's all in that report under the business analytics.
Just because we just were talking about the free 2 years of Prime, of Business Prime, someone asked what will happen after the 2 years?
If it's not renegotiated, then you would be billed for Business Prime. It's my understanding. And
Do you
Stephanie,
know
if you have
the
anything
current?
else to add on that, I don't oversee that piece of it, but I'll kick it over to Stephanie.
Sorry, my computer froze right when that you were asking that. Liz, do you mind repeating it?
Yeah, sure. Someone asked after the 2 years, what would be, I guess, the cost? I mean, I guess that can change from year to year, but like, let's just assume someone's 2 years was up today. How, do you know how much it would be?
Yeah, so well, the goal is to continue the program after 2 years. The team that runs that program, our colleague Tessa, is they're going to look at it at the 2 year mark, evaluate how profitable it's been for the business and how much engagement there's been, and ideally will continue for an additional 2 years. If not, we would give you all ample time to let you know that it would not be continuing. And then from there, it's based on the amount of users you would have in your account. So we have an essentials plan, a small plan, and a medium plan. We do have a government discount for all of those plans. They vary in cost from, I believe, $139 at the low point for per year to $779 for on the higher end. So it really just depends on how many users you have to see which one of those buckets you would fall into.
Got it. Thank you. Okay, so here we go with the questions. Is there any plan to extend the library pricing beyond the first 90-ish days past when a title has been released? I don't always purchase something immediately, or I may need to buy a replacement. So having library pricing, extended to older titles would be great.
So because Amazon Business is a very competitive marketplace, we are offering the library pricing for 90 days and the clock starts on the publication date. If you are buying a title that's older, that's maybe beyond the 90 days, you're still going to get very competitive pricing on it. It may not be library pricing, it may be even greater. So because we have a platform that allows third-party sellers to sell those items that you're buying, your price point may be even greater from them than it is from Amazon. So that's why I say it's a very competitive marketplace. When you're getting those older titles or those replacement titles that's beyond 90 days, maybe it's 2 years old and you need to buy another one, you're refreshing your collection. The Amazon business pricing is always going to be very competitive, more so than Amazon.com because that's how it's designed. And so are we going to extend library pricing beyond 90 days? I don't have an answer for that. Is it possible? It's possible. But even if we don't, you're going to always get competitive pricing on Amazon Business.
Do we need to have a Prime account to get books before the street date? Someone
Well, well,
asked.
right now it's not available. It's likely going to be required because that is through books, the Amazon Business that you'll need to be able to get library pricing. So you would have to have Amazon Business, but not necessarily Prime, I'm sure.
Mhm. Okay. So can you tell us about the delayed street date of Thorndike Press large print titles in Amazon? Otherwise, sorry, I'm going, I hate not using a mouse. I hate using the thing on the laptop. Give me 1 second. Otherwise engaged, a novel hardcover, like they're giving an example. So they're saying like there's one that I guess comes out in regular, hardcover on November 4th, but then the large print comes out on November 26th. So can you tell us about the delayed street date of some large print titles
Yeah, well, Amazon doesn't set the street date.
for the
That's
large
done by the
print titles?
publisher.
Got
We
it.
don't have any control over that. So it would be the same regardless to where you were buying it. If the publisher changes the street date, then it's changed for everyone. It's not just changed for one supplier or one company that's selling it. It's going to be for everyone. And that's not something that we have jurisdiction over to determine a title's release date or street date.
Got it. So the person clarified about that bid question.
Okay, good.
They said, I've been told that we may not be able to rely exclusively on Amazon for books due to bid laws. I'm not sure if anyone knows anything about that. Now, I am not an authority on this, but I guess it would depend on your town, I think. If anybody else wants to jump in and answer this, but I know we've had several different suppliers at once. I don't think bid laws apply to this, but if anybody else wants to jump in and answer, please feel free.
Liz,
Oh,
I was going to also say maybe if
yeah.
you want to check with NJLA, just reach out to them. They've worked very
Sure.
closely with Amazon Business.
I mean, I know,
I work with a lot of government in general, and it seems like there's a lot of different interpretations of the bid laws across New Jersey in general.
Mhm.
But we do have, there is no state contract with Amazon, so I think that's sort of what this is referencing. Was there a state contract with Baker and Taylor with New Jersey, Trita? Do you know of?
I'm not certain.
Okay, so it's likely a similar buying process then. If Baker and Taylor didn't have a state contract, it would likely be similar with Amazon. We do have now in place a lot of the paperwork that you would need to supply in order to purchase with Amazon. Like we have pay to play forms per county, so I'm happy to supply those if you're worried about not meeting those bid laws. So that's something you could reach out to me for as well, and I'm happy to supply any of that paperwork. That's basically a form after you hit over $17,500 in spend with one vendor. I can supply that form to you. You can supply it to whoever handles the taxes in your library, and then you should be good to go. But I also am not a expert on this, so if I'm missing anything, anyone else is happy to chime in as well.
so I've gotten through all the questions, unless anybody else wanted to put a question in the chat. I guess my question would be, what is the best way to reach both of you?
Great one. And Liz, I'll put my information in the chat, my email. I am, again, part of the Amazon Books team. So I do support Stephanie and her work as overseer of the Amazon business account and the relationship. I am certainly here to support librarians, selectors, anyone that is just kind of looking for some best practices. How do I best search for content on Amazon business? I'm happy to be that point of contact for you. One other thing, Liz, I would like to share with everyone on the call is that at Amazon Business, and I'm going to do one final screen share, I think. I just said I think, so hopefully I won't have to go back and forth. But I want to show you something that has been extremely helpful as I've met with librarians throughout this journey. I call it a journey because it's several conversations. We've got to build trust. We've got to change that narrative that people have of Amazon. And I'm working along with our team to try and do that and support libraries. But one of the things that I love to show is that when you're on, and I think I'm sharing my screen. I hope that I am. So I'm just going into a
You
single
are.
title. Okay, awesome. I'm
Mhm.
just going into a single title, and let's just say that you're doing some sort of community outreach initiative at your library. Maybe it's programming, maybe it's something where you're doing a book in every home, maybe it's 1,000 books read before kindergarten, or any other initiative that requires book giveaways. If you are looking on the Amazon business account, and I again, just chose one title. Let's say you wanted to give out more than 100 copies of this book, right? You can go on Amazon Business right underneath the right in the buy box, so underneath that add to a cart, request for quote. If you are buying multiple copies, and it'll give you the minimum threshold before you can do request to quote, and it'll vary depending on the title. But if you were buying 200 copies of this book, instead of paying the list price per unit, you can go in and request a quote, and this will generate this form that you would fill out, would generate a quote and get that back into your hands within 24 hours. If you have a program or some sort of initiative that you are doing that requires multiple titles, that is when I would suggest sending an email to me. And if you've got an Excel spreadsheet or some other document that you'd like to use to give me that list and those quantities, then I would help you with a custom quote so that you don't have to go for every single title or every single item and do that quote through the Amazon business site. But I've supported like the state of Arkansas this past summer that did a summer reading challenge. If all of Arkansas read the same book, so it was several different titles depending on the audience level, and I was able to generate a quote for them. I'm already working with libraries that are identifying the books that they're going to use for next year. So let me know, let me help you, let me support you in that capacity. As I've stated before, I'm really just here as that point of contact for books and to support libraries. And so I'm happy that I got to be a part of this conversation today and certainly looking forward to working with you all as you continue to manage your collections, buy new material, and allow us to support you as an Amazon business entity. So I'll stop sharing and
There
certainly
was a
turn it
couple
back
more
over.
questions
Oh,
that came
good.
in.
Okay.
So someone asked, is there a way to make it easier when you use ISBN to search? I always get Kindle books as the default result, and sometimes it's quite confusing.
Yeah, so if you want to use advanced search, you can do that, but I just search by ISBN and usually again, if even if a Kindle displays, you can just see all formats and then it'll allow you to just pick the format that you want. You'll see hardcover, you'll see large print, you'll see paperback. So, and the large print will usually fall under paperback for the most part, and it'll be right in the description, so you don't have to click multiple things. It'll say large print and then the title. So that's what I would suggest for now. I know what used to happen on my former employer's platform that you could set preferences and it eliminated certain things from showing. We're not there yet. And, here's what I could always say, as I stated, if we did a follow-up conversation and you just wanted to have the selectors, let's talk about some best practices. I'm happy to do that.
The next question is, I've seen more recently an option to pre-order to add to cart. I used to only see pre-order and immediately check out. I want to double check. This will allow me to add several pre-order titles to a single cart and check out one time.
Yes, you can pre-order now.
Okay. Wondering if there is a way to find all the orders that are out for delivery or have been shipped but not delivered in one place.
Yes, under the reports, business analytics reports, and you can see what's been ordered, what's been shipped.
Is there a way to set up different bill to accounts like we could with Baker and Taylor? That way we could have an adult account, a juvenile account, replacements, etc.
Yeah, let's definitely take that one because there are some different setups that can be done, but it's not going to be as you guys have done in the past with B&T where you have those separate bill to accounts. There are sub accounts that can be done, subgroups. Stephanie, I'll let you take that in terms of account setup for Amazon Business.
So within your Amazon business settings, you can set up a bunch of different addresses and delivery preferences. So if you go right into your account, you can bulk add all of the addresses or import them one at a time, and then they'll have a drop down where they can pick from every single address that they want to send to. You could also set up different groups within the account. So if you wanted to set up like adult, juvenile replacements, you could do that and then set up the addresses from there right under those specific groups. I would recommend if you're looking to set up additional groups and addresses to schedule time with me and I can walk you through how to do that because it's just easier to have someone walk you through it. But you can add additional addresses right within your account for the short answer of that question.
And then I think this is the last question. Is there any option for professional reviews integration?
Not yet, but we know it's needed. So we're already in talks with review sources to integrate that into Amazon Business.
Okay. Well, I think we got through all the questions.
Liz
So
is like, yay.
thank you so much. Anything else that you want to add, or I guess any other, things anybody wants to add in the chat. I'm monitoring it right now, so I'll let Tarita and Stephanie go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for joining. I wrote in the chat, but best way to get in touch with me is via email. And then I also have a link to my calendar that I'll send out after this. And if you want to schedule a time to talk through anything or set up groups, users, really anything at all, you can set up some time and we can talk through it.
All right. And Tarita and Stephanie, thank you so much. We appreciate your time, and I'm sure people will be in touch. And thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
Thanks.
Take
Have a
care.
great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.